This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. In the previous session, we just had a conversation how this communication between end users will happen, and also if someone has asked like what is SLAs and all that, also we had a word about that. And today we'll be discussing about our FI and CO syllabus. Okay, so then after discussing means while discussing the CO syllabus, we'll come to understand how the transport request numbers, like whatever the changes we are doing in the development system, how we'll move the changes from one system to another system. But as a thumb rule, may please make a note that the changes or the transport request numbers, whatever we are doing regarding, okay, so that will be moved from development to quality and development to production system. So please make a note, whatever the changes we are doing in development system based on the business request or with reference to business request, that changes will be saved, that changes will be saved with reference to transport request number, with reference to transport request number. So this transport request number will be released from development to quality system, will be released from development to quality system for testing purpose, for testing purpose. Once the testing is done, once the testing is done, we will release the changes into, we will release the changes into production system, okay, from development to production. So there you write development to production. Any questions in these lines?
Hari, actually, we are seeing subsystems, right? Like Quest is there, training is there. So
Yeah,
can
that
you
I'll
explain
explain.
more on this?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll explain. If I explain now, people will run. Okay, they'll get
Okay.
confused. First, let them habit for this system terminology at least, because this is a new terminology, right? Of course, for us it is
Mm.
fine. Of course, initially we too got confused, right? If you remember our initial days.
Yep.
So let people get habited for this terminology, quality system, production system, and all. So slowly I'll explain. The complete process we call as a release management, moving changes or TR from one system to another system is called release management or change management. Moving the changes from one system to another system is called release management or change management. Okay, the next one is something, some point I missed. It's okay, fine. Whenever I remember, I can explain that one. Moving the changes from one system to another system is called change management or release management. Okay, done. Okay, Any questions up to this release management and all? It depends upon client to client. We have tools to release the change, to release the transport requests. Okay, depends upon client to client. Please make a note this point. So it won't be happen in every client, but in some clients we have some tools. Okay, depends on clients. We have tools for release management. We have tools for release management. Example, charms. Example, charms. CHARMS. Charms tool. Depends upon client and their budget. They will maintain some tools for releasing the changes from one system to another system. For example, charms tool. CHARMS. Charms. Okay. Clear? Any questions about that TRs? So that part we'll discuss how we release and all. So going further, we have sessions on that, and we'll be understanding the release management or change management. Apart from that, do you have any questions on the lines we discussed?
No, sir.
Okay, chalo. So now let us understand what is our FI and the CO syllabus, and what is FI for and what is a CO. Okay. So everyone knows finance. In finance, we are extracting balance sheet and other. One sec. 1 second. Sorry. Nothing, man. One of my student got a job. That's it. Okay. So, FI CO syllabus. In FI, finance is used for external reporting purpose to extract P&L account statement balances and balance sheet statement balance. Okay, balance sheet accounts means assets and liabilities, and for P&L account we use uh, expenses and revenues, and for this we call as FSVs, financial statement versions. We have to configure as FSVs and need to be done in the system. Okay, so any questions about finance? Hello?
Hello. Yeah, we are good,
Fi-
Hari.
Yeah, finance is used for external reports. External reports are P&L account statement and balance sheet.
Yes,
Okay,
Hari.
fine. P&L account statement and balance sheet. And in SAP, we call together as FSVs, financial statement versions. Okay, so there are number of financial statement versions in environment, in our real-time environment in SAP. Based upon their requirement, we create number of FSVs, location to location, some reports we create. Okay, but let us see how we create. Cash flow statement will not be included in the finance. It is from some FSCM module. So we are not going to discuss about cash flow statement. Okay, it is a different module. Okay, so now talking and coming to the CVO. CVO is used for internal reporting purpose. CVO is used for internal reporting purpose. So what does meant by internal reports means whatever the expenses you are spending on P&L account balances on FI. So those expenses we are analyzing based on our plan cost and actual cost which we are spending on costing. Okay, for example, if I paid wages, okay, first wages will be recorded in finance, like wages account data to cash account. There's a finance transactions done because we have a document. So when it's come to costing, so in costing, for to spend on wages, we'll be having some plan cost. Suppose our plan cost is 950 rupees, but we paid 1000 rupees. So we'll analyze the variance, why this 50 rupees difference is coming. Variance means the difference between the plan cost and actual cost. And then we analyze for what purpose we paid wages. Means then we see, okay, for the person who worked in a canteen, for cleaning activity in a canteen, for cleaning activity for 8 hours, we paid 950 rupees. This is the analysis what we do in CVO. In FI, we just record the transaction. Finance part is done. When it's come to CVO, we are analyzing the expenses. For what purpose? Means because of canteen, we have expenses. So in canteen, what activity was performed? Cleaning activity. So again, for how many hours? So statistical key figure, we are analyzing the hours. So that means for this activity, we are paying 950. But as per our plan, it is 950 rupees for the same activity. But when it's come to actual, it is 1000 rupees. So this variance is 50 rupees. So this variance is a normal variance or abnormal variance. We'll analyze. Normal variance means it cannot be avoided. Maybe some difference in the price or some other additional activity we have performed. We'll just adjust in that way. If it is an abnormal variances, then we'll try to reduce it. Any questions about this? The topic what we had discussed, the difference between finance and CVO regarding the expenses. Ramesh,
Hari, I understood like FI and what about CO? Could you please repeat once again?
CVO is for internal reports. Point one. In
Okay.
CVO, externally we are recording expenses and revenues. Okay,
Okay.
but when it's come to CVO, we'll be having revenues, but not immediately. Okay, it
Okay.
comes when you are selling your material and all. There we'll see the revenues, but initially, all expenses will be recorded in costing because why? The expenses will float from FI from finance only. In CVO, we don't have a bank account. So in CVO, we analyze all our expenses, why we are spending the amount, on what expenses we are spending the amount. why we are getting this much of expenses. We'll analyze. Okay, in this analysis,
Okay.
in costing, initially we'll be having some plan cost. First, we'll go with a plan cost. Okay, for these expenses, this much of amount will be allocated. So this is our plan cost. So coming to the
Okay.
actuals, it will differs. Then we'll analyze the differences, and this difference we call as variances.
Mr. Ali,
Okay.
where we have put anywhere to plan cost?
Prasanna, I cannot hear you, Prasanna. There is some
Hello.
disturbance from here. Could you please keep your mic closer and speak?
I think this also captures some, like if you look into WBS and work order level, okay,
Mm.
it also captures commitments, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Commitments again, we have to go deep into the subject, but as a part of our syllabus, we are not configuring commitments.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah, commitments will comes under purchases. Okay.
okay,
So, but we are not going deep into that purchases. Yes, because it's the involvement of other modules also, like a PS and other modules. It has to come. We have to discuss.
okay.
So
But
we are
in
not going.
controlling module, we can view that one, right?
Yeah, we can view. We can view.
Okay.
Hari, Mr. Hari, where we have put any where in system plan cost, then we have arrived the report of plan cost versus actual cost.
Yeah. We have the transaction. We can see both the plan cost and actual cost and variances also. And that too for every cost object wise. Cost object means where we are able to recognize the expenses. Example, cost center is a cost object. In our example, canteen is a cost center. Because of canteen, we occurred wages. So canteen is a cost center where we recognized our expenses. So cost center wise or a cost object wise, we can analyze both the plan cost and actual cost. Okay, and variances, the percentage and variance will be displayed by the system only. System will calculate for you, so we can see that reports as well. Okay, yeah, Ramesh, you're trying to speak something. Any questions? Okay, hope for everyone it is clear, right? Do you have any questions? Please let me know.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me,
This
Babu.
is Rambabu.
Yeah, tell me.
Rambabu, sir. Co-controlling module is used for internal reports only.
Yeah,
FI is only used for external reports only.
yes. So first we have to understand what is external report and what is an internal report. Then only we can go to a conclusion. So FI is for this purpose and CO is for this purpose. So in our case, external reports are P&L account statements, balance
P&L
sheet statements, and cash
balance
flow
sheet.
statements, cash flows. So these are the external statements, right? To
So,
analyze your
so
status of your business.
okay.
Okay.
This means profit and loss account or balance sheet.
Yeah, this balance sheet also
How?
is published,
Uh,
right?
uh,
Based on this balance sheet only, we'll be receiving some shares and all. We can go for that. We can go for further expansion, or we can go for liabilities. If you are working in auditing, you might be clearly understanding what is a P&L account, what is a balance sheet account, and why we are calling it as a external
okay.
reports. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So initially in costing module or in controlling module, we'll analyze the expenses, the difference between plan cost
Okay.
and other. And coming to the
Plan
manufacturing a product, yeah, manufacturing a product will be analyzing the cost analysis. So that is like cost sheet. We'll prepare a cost sheet in the system. The analysis, like how much amount we are spending to manufacturing a product. Hmm. So for that we are preparing a cost sheet. In our SAP also we can prepare a cost sheet. Then
Okay.
profitability analysis. Based on your expenses and the revenues, we are analyzing a profitability analysis. We are analyzing the profits and expenses. There we can see the variance again. How much amount we have spent on a product and how much revenue we have got on a same product. And also we can analyze how we are receiving revenue on a product depends upon the several market segments, like based on the demand for the material, or because of the location, or because of the person. So we'll be analyzing in the profitability analysis. Okay, that's what it's called as a controlling and profitability analysis. Controlling means to analyze the expenses and revenues. Okay, and remember, for COPA till now, means there is no a standard report. For COPA we have to prepare business required report only. There is no standard reports. Okay, so for profitability analysis, to learn the profitable analysis, first we have to learn the report painter. Using report painter, we can create client required reporting structure. Okay, report painter is used in several areas. Mostly we use in profitability analysis. In COPA, we use report painter. So we do some calculations. Based on the calculations, our report will be generated in the system. So these calculations will be analyzed based on the market segments. Okay. So market segment means like how we are analyzing, because if you take any product, so the product will be selling based upon the location, or uh, based upon the person in an organization, or based upon a, so there will be some credibility, like if person stands, the material will be sold. That's why we are having advertisements and a representative for the material and all. Similarly, so depends upon the person, or depends upon the your location, or depends upon the material demand, usage of the material. So it's all analyzed in the system. Okay, so these are like market segments, like what we have understood. And we have one more reporting structure also in SAP, like a segmental reporting, that going further we'll understand. Okay, so briefly this is about finance and CO modules. If you have any questions, please let me know. Ramesh, మీ వాయిస్ క్లియర్ లేదండి, సంథింగ్ డిస్టర్బెన్స్ ఉంది. So if you have any queries, please give in the chat. Okay, next one. So before going to understand about FI and CO, first try to understand how data is differentiated in SAP. In SAP, data is differentiated into three levels. One, configuration data. One, configuration data. Two, master data. And three, transaction data. Like this, data is segregated in SAP system. Okay, so please make a note. In SAP, data is differentiated in three segments. One, configuration data, or three types. As per your understanding, yes, you can write configuration data, master data, and transaction data. Whatever the data you are executing, every data we have to maintain the settings in the system, and that settings we call as configurations or customizations. Like we have to create organization, we have to create transactional data, means how the transactions are posted in system, how system can differentiate the each and every transactions. We have to understand how transactions are differentiated with this line items, like a debit line, a credit line. All this understanding comes under configuration data. Okay, and next one is master data. After doing configuration data for organization, configuration for master data, and configuration for transaction data, then means after maintaining all the settings, configuration is nothing but settings to execute any information in the system. Okay, here you can see configuration settings for organization structure. Means first we have to define our organization, what is our company, what is its location, how many branches it have, what is the reporting structure, everything settings we have to do initially by taking information from the business. Okay, without doing any settings, we cannot execute a single transaction. Without doing any configurations, we cannot do a single transaction. Okay, so this is the configurations we are doing. Configurations are customizations. Configuration settings for organization structure, configuration settings for master data, and configuration settings for transaction data. All these configurations we have to do in our customizations or settings. This is mandatory, and these configurations are done based on business requirement. We don't do on our own decisions. What business asking, accordingly we have to do the settings in the system.
So first one, Hari, just want to clarify. So organization structure means it includes like a plant, department, everything, right? It will come
Everything,
under Okay.
everything, but it is differentiated based on the module.
Okay.
Because if it is a sales module, then sales people will be taking care of sales organization, from which division they are sending the amount and sending the material, and what is the division distribution channel. Okay, from which location and area. So they will differentiate it. For example, Hyderabad is a division. From Hyderabad, some Kukatpally is a distribution channel. That means okay, I am having sales in Hyderabad. So in sales in Hyderabad location, my division is Amirpet. So from this, I have a distribution channel. From here, I will be distributing the items. So like this will differentiate. Similarly for MM module also, purchasing module. So they will be having a plant. Plant is a geographical location to evaluate the price of a material. Again, we have to analyze this part. That means from location to location, material price will differ if you observe.
Yes.
Okay, so the price of material will be differentiated based on the plant only. Okay, means plant can be a manufacturing unit or it can be a distribution unit.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yes. Yes. I understood. Yeah.
yeah, based on the geographical conditions and locations, the price of the material will change. So that's why plant is more important for us. So this is taken care by purchasing people, MM module.
Okay.
Okay, like this organization structure also will be differentiated in from module to module.
Okay.
Okay, so first, as a part of configuration data or a customization data, so these three steps we have to do. We have to analyze what are the configurations for organized structures, what are the configuration settings we do for to create a master data. Here is an example, settings for master data, example GL master data. Okay, for every master data we have to do configurations. Now you may get a doubt, what is a master data? The data which is used for transactions is called a master data. GL accounts, customer information, vendor or supplier. We can say supplier so that it will be easy for everyone. Supplier, settings, customer means buyer. Okay, just for your understanding, I'm writing as buyer, but we don't call as a buyer in SAP. Okay, buyer settings we have to do. So buyer means like whether he's a one-time customer, uh, or he's a long-term customer for us, or he's a foreign customer. Like this, we are differentiating our customers. So to differentiate these customers, we have to do some settings. Similarly, supplier also. So whether he is a one-time supplier, or he is our regular supplier of material, or he is a foreign supplier, or he is a um, he's a supplier for freight. Okay, he is our transportation supplier. Like this, we'll maintain the settings in our system to differentiate the master data. Okay, Even if you see the GL accounts also, when you're talking about GL accounts, we have several GL accounts like expenses GL accounts, revenue GL accounts, assets GL accounts. So how we are differentiating this data? So for that we need configurations or settings. Okay. Any questions about configuration data? Similarly, when it's come to the transaction data, we are executing several transactions like purchases, sales, payments, credit notes, debit notes, and some assets purchases, assets depreciation. Each and every transaction has to be differentiated by the system. Similarly, in every transaction, we have a debit line and a credit line. System itself has to differentiate those those line items as a debit line or a credit line, like that. So how these are done automatically by the system, we have to understand. If required, we have to configure or we have to maintain the settings. So to understand this part, we are analyzing as a configuration settings for each and every data. Okay.
For this, like cost objects creation, like cost center worker, that one projects creation, that is coming under FI or controlling.
CO only.
Okay.
That comes under CO only.
Because that requires as per business requirement, right?
Exactly.
As and
Only
when the
on
new
business.
request comes, they will get it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Only on the business based. See, whatever a single change, whatever you're doing, is minor change, whatever you're doing, that has to be done with a business concern.
Mm-hmm.
Without any business knowledge, we are not supposed to maintain the changes as a SAP consultant. So in practice, yes, you can do
Yeah.
anything. But when it's come to a production system on real-time environment, for sure, everything has been done under supervision of business. Okay, so this is all about the configuration data. Now, next one is master data. We have to understand about master data. Master data and a transaction data in production system, that will be done by end users only. So we do configuration settings in development system. We means SAP consultants. We do in development system. Here I made a note. Okay. So master data and transaction data will be executed by end users in production system. As a note, you can write. So what is meant by master data? Master data means the GL accounts, customer, materials, whatever the information we are using for our transaction purpose, that is called a master data. That means if I don't have a customer number or customer details, how can I sell my items? If I don't have a material information, like which material I have to purchase in my system, then how can I execute a purchase order? So that means whatever the data we are using or creating for transaction purpose, that is called master data. So crispily we can say the data which is used in transactions is called master data. So here you can see the journal transactions. Salaries account data are to bank account. So this salary account is a GL account and a bank account is a GL account. Without these two GL accounts, I cannot execute a transaction data. That's why it's called as a master data. Okay. Any questions?
No questions, Harij.
No, Hari.
Fine. So it's a now coming to the transaction data, which is also done by the end users, like posting the journal entries, creating invoices, executing payments for the invoices, sending payment reminders, all comes under transaction data. Okay, done. So now make a note in production system. both master data and transaction data taken care by end users only. In production system, please clearly write in production system. Have you done?
హరి ఇది థియరీ మెటీరియల్ షేర్ చేయగలుగుతాను.
ఇదంతా జనరల్ గా చెప్తున్నానండి. ఐఎమ్ నాట్
ఓకే
ప్రిపేర్డ్ ఎనీ నోట్స్. నేను ఎప్పుడు నోట్స్ ప్రిపేర్ చేయను. ఐ ఆల్వేస్ సజెస్ట్ go with your understanding. Maybe it takes some time to understand, but because see, we are the consultants and we have to give our understanding. Okay, so we should not by heart.
బై హార్ట్ కోసం కాదు, జస్ట్ ఒక బ్రీఫ్
Initially, yeah, for
డిస్క్రిప్షన్
initial. That's why I said like write your own notes. మీరు own గా రాయండి.
ఓకే
Write your own notes. I always suggest. If you have any queries, you ask me. I'll tell you 100 times. Not a problem for me. But
ఓకే
I always encourage go with your notes. If someone asks you any question, we should be able to give answer instantly with our understanding,
ఓకే
because we are consultants. Okay,
ఎస్
we have to understand the requirement, we have to analyze the requirement, and we have to give our idea.
ఓకే
So from day one, our practice will be on the same. Yes, I'll give notes for practice purpose, but even a general understanding only. So these are all of the general understanding. So we have to write on our own.
షూర్.
So because even someone will say, okay, for reading purpose, it is no. You have to line up the process, where it is starting, where it is ending, what are the topics are involved in the middle. So you have to line up and you have to prepare a story for that. So once a story is generated in your mind, then fine. You never forget your lifetime.
ఓకే
Okay. Of course, it takes some time to generate your story, but try to do that one on your own, and you can ask me your questions at any time.
ఓకే
Okay, always welcome for questions. నథింగ్ టు హెసిటేట్. వాళ్ళు ఏది అడుగుతారు, వాళ్ళు అలా ఫీల్ అవుతారని లేదు. ఒకరికి అర్థమైంది, ఒకరికి అర్థం కాలేదు, అంతే. సో ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ క్లియర్, యూ కెన్ ఆస్క్. నథింగ్ టు హెసిటేట్ దేర్. డోంట్ బాదర్ అబౌట్ others.
ఓకే
This is the first point you have to remember. As we are working in IT, we should not hesitate. Okay, let them laugh. That is their, I can say, we have to live for them. That's it. Let them laugh. No issues for us. You are learning, right?
ఎస్
That's it. This topic, like what the last line, what I said, that I learned from Danish people.
ఓకే
Their intention is like, if you are not doing anything, and so if you're not getting any doubt or if you're not doing mistake, that means you did nothing. This I learned from Danish people. Like I don't know, like how many times my teachers taught this point, but in my professional environment, I learned from them only. If you do mistake and if you say, yeah, you learned something, right? Yeah, don't repeat it next time. This is only reply what we receive from Danish people.
ఓకే
And as a survey, I heard that they are the world most means in the world they are the highest satisfied people. Like they don't excite for anything. If you say you got 1 crore lottery, they say yes, okay, fine. If you say you lost 1 crore, yes, okay, the same expression.
ఎస్
So like this, so they will encourage. I work very closely with the Danish people for 4 years, I think. They'll encourage, and also they don't tolerate if you waste time. If you give a commitment that I'll complete this task in 10 days, so they don't ask any question for 10 days.
ఆఫ్టర్ 10 days ఓన్లీ దేర్ ఇస్
They will ask. So if you cannot complete the task in 10 days, okay, if you need some more time, you just give an heads up information with a proper justification. It is accepted. Of course, the commitment and this justifications, whatever we're going, it applies in our IT. But if you are working with that people, it's very convenient. Maybe some people will means will give some other reply like as you can't you check initially, so they will give some their own words. But these people will never say anything.
Okay.
Okay, fine. They'll say okay. That's it. It's very pleasant environment with them. Fine. Apart from that, see. So we have to configure our GL transactions, like to execute a single entry, like salaries account data to bank account. We have to configure 22 configuration steps in GL module. To post a single entry, we have to maintain 22 steps in the system. So which includes the configuration settings of organization structure, configuration settings for master data, and configuration settings for transaction data. But before going to understand this configuration settings, let us see what are the topics we are going to discuss in FI module. Okay. What are the topics we are going to discuss in FI module? So in FI, we are learning in 4 concepts. One, general ledger concept. Second one, we are learning account receivables and accounts payables. Last one is asset accounting. So if you are familiar with these 4 concepts, then you are good in FI and you will be recognized as a FI consultant. Regarding this consultant point of view, also I have a very good experience with the Robert Bosch company. When I did my interview with Robert Bosch, uh, the person came, he's around by that time, like it's a story of 2016 or 17, I remember. So the person came, he's having 20 years of experience in accounting and SAP environment.
Okay.
And he said like he is there from uh, 4.6 or 4 point some 4 version is there. Like it's around 1990s, 95. No, not 95. He's around an SAP consultant from 95. Okay. But he's still taking some interviews for consultants on his free time and all. And by that day, my fate was not good. I was the person there to give an interview to him. So my first introduction, he asked, "What consultant you are?" I said, "FI and CO." "Okay, if you are a CO consultant, are you good in product costing?" I said, "I don't know product costing." Then you're not a CO consultant. Direct reply I got. Okay. So in FI, what are the areas you know? I have very less experience by that time, and I'm not confident in asset accounting as well. So I said, I know I'm very much experienced and worked on this several areas like GL, AP, and AR, and also bank accounting specifically. I'm expert in bank accounting. By that time, I worked on many bank scenarios. So I said, I'm expert in. I can say I have experience, huge experience on bank accounting. Then what about asset accounting? I said I have knowledge, but I didn't work more on that. Then he said, like, I'm not. You're not a FI consultant. I
Okay.
just paused for a second. And then I asked, okay, what name you'll give to me? Like if I say I'm good in GL, AP and AR, so what name you'll give? So this means that they are testing your spontaneous and how you are taking the questions and rejections from the client. Initial, I said, right? So whenever we are taking interviews, we check some points. So this is one thing, what they have observed. You are spontaneous and how you are reacting if they reject you. Okay. So we should be very cool and we have to give a answer. And whenever you are giving answer, that should not be an aggressive mode again. These are the points what we have to remember initially, and there's the qualities what we have acquired as a consultant. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So always we should be ready to take any task from a client, and if it is not possible to do, you have to express in the same way, in a very pleasant way only. So we should not get like irritated, like why this customer is asking like this. I explained many times it cannot be possible. Maybe he cannot understand your explanation, or maybe he is expecting something, a different answer from you. So you try to give that one. So that comes only through your self practice. That's why I encourage with your I encourage to write your own notes based on your understandings.
Okay, Harry.
Am I clear, Prasad?
Yes, yes,
Correct or wrong?
yes, exactly. I
So
completely
because
agree. Yes.
mm, we should be very pleasant, because they will ask many things.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it will be like if you compare with a movie, it will be like similar to Ram Gopal Varma's movie. Your client requirement will be, you cannot understand what they are asking. Okay, fine. So after, like in GL module, once you are done with the 22 steps, yes, I'll explain you what are those 22 steps. So I just assume that we have done the 22 steps. Then we'll learn how to post a journal entry. Once we complete this 22 steps in SAP, in GL module, we'll learn how to post a journal entry. While posting the journal entry, there are some settings regarding the transactions that also will be understanding. What is the purpose of those transactions and configuration settings regarding each and every entry. And once an entry is posted, remember, automatically ledger will get updated in SAP system. If you see the journal cycle, we have to understand the business transaction, and we post a journal entry, and then that will be transferred to the ledgers. But when it's come to SAP system, ledgers will get updated automatically. Once the ledgers are posted, it is very difficult to delete the document. Why I said it is very difficult? Because in some clients, like mostly in Italy, they will delete the transactions from the system. Okay, so of course legally it is not correct, but yes, we will do. It is possible in SAP. Okay, so that's why once the transactions are updated in ledgers, it is very difficult to delete the document. But we have a provision to reverse the entry. We have a provision to reverse the entry. So in reversal, we'll be learning two types. What is a individual reversal? Reversal of multiple documents at once, and reversal of payment documents. That concepts we are learning in our system. So once we are done with the reversal concepts, so we'll be covering foreign currency transactions. So others are miscellaneous, like checking the reports for each and every GL account, verifying the ledger balances, all comes under transactions only. So those are, I consider those as a miscellaneous. Okay, and other miscellaneous topics regarding the transactions we'll be discussing. After understanding the transactions and other miscellaneous entries in the system, will the major topics are foreign currency transactions, how we are dealing foreign currency transactions in the system, and how system able to post the exchange rates with reference to your local currency. That means my company is in India, and my transaction currency will be INR, right? Suppose if I do any transactions with USD, that is called as a foreign currency transactions. So whenever I'm posting any foreign currency transactions, automatically system has to show the conversion rates. That means $1 is equal to 76 rupees. System has to show that conversion rate automatically. So to execute this transaction automatically, this conversion transaction, then what are the settings are required, and how many exchange rates we are maintaining, how these currencies are maintained in the system. Is it a standard, or we are maintaining manually? And to maintain this currency conversions, we have to consider the exchange rate types. In our market, we have two exchange rate types. One is bank selling rate and bank buying rate. Okay, so in which scenario we are triggering to bank buying rate, in which scenario we are triggering to bank selling rate. So that is more important for us to understand in foreign currency transactions. Along with this, we have to understand who will maintain these exchange rates, who is responsible to update the exchange rates in SAP system as per the economic market, and what is the regular intervals of time to maintain these exchange rates in SAP system. If you see the economic market, for every 1 hour, for every 10 seconds, the rate will change. Will it happen randomly in the system? So that we have to understand. Okay. So as per the economic market, who will update this exchange rate in the system, and what are the methods we follow to update the exchange rates in the system? Everything will be understood in foreign currency transactions. Then the next important topic is foreign currency valuation. So here valuation means analyzing the exchange rate loss or a gain. Analyzing exchange rate loss or a gain on our purchase transactions with foreign vendors or in foreign currency. For example, I have purchased some items in January. On, let us take a date of January 10th. I purchased some items on credit basis. So assume that I purchased for $1,000. When I am purchasing for $1,000, by that time $1 is equal to 78 rupees. So how much amount I spent in local currency? Hello, I purchased in $1,000.
Near about 72,000,
Yeah,
76,000 as per
78,000.
exchange rate of
Uh,
exchange.
$1 is equal to 78 rupees, and I purchased for $1,000. So in local currency, the worth of product is 78,000 rupees, right? Correct.
Yes.
Mm. Now my due date is on February 16th. Today I have to pay. So I'm paying in $1,000 only. But while I'm paying, $1 is equal to 80 rupees. If I convert in local currency, $1 is equal to 80 rupees. So how much amount I'm paying in local currency?
80,000.
So what is the difference on the date of purchase and date of payment?
2,000.
So is it
8,000.
your trade loss? How will you consider this one now?
Loss.
No, this is not your trade loss, because you purchased for $1,000 and you paid $1,000. This is not your loss.
Gain or loss.
So DI loss or gain will tell, right? This one.
Yes, yes. This is called exchange loss or gain.
Okay.
Difference in exchange rate loss or gain.
Foreign currency exchange loss. Okay. So this exchange loss or gain we learn in SAP system, which is posted automatically by the system. Okay. So here we are evaluating foreign currency exchange loss or gain on our purchases and sales. Clear? Any questions?
Yes, sir.
So this is a very important topic for which is related to our customers and vendor transactions, but we consider in GL only. In the initial sessions, we learn this one. Okay. Next one is cash journals. In our daily life, we call this petty expenses. Okay. What are the petty expenses we are doing? So in SAP, we have a concept called cash journals. In SAP, we can also accept checks. We can also accept check payments from our customers. For what purpose we do this petty expenses? In an organization? Any idea?
How much per day we
All
are
OPEX cost,
spending
right?
money
If
for
there
Small
if there is any
transactions.
small transactions and the transactions are less than 10 or 15,000 rupees.
yes.
Okay, daily transactions or petty revenues like sale of old newspapers, paying rents. Okay, so if you're paying less than 10 or 15,000 rupees, you are having any transactions. So then we'll allocate some funds to a GL account, and from that account we are spending our amount, just like a pocket money for an organization.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
so those expenses we consider as a cash incomes, and that concept we are learning in our system as a PDX. So once you are familiar with all these postings, reversal transactions, clearing liabilities, and the different type of payments understanding, and foreign currency valuations and transactions, our GL module will get completed. Then we'll move into accounts payable module, like which is already done by this like few people like who are joined today by our 8:30 batch. Okay. So, but again, try to understand, and you can come up, you can ask if you have any questions based on our previous discussion. Okay. So, accounts payable is a module, is a sub module of general ledger, or we can also call as a sub ledger of general ledger module, because we are posting these transactions with reference to a recon account. Okay. So now tell me what is meant by reconciliation. Now tell me what is meant by reconciliation.
Reconciliation regarding what, bank or vendor customer? What?
Vendor or customer.
Vendor customer, if we are buying from vendor and not book any purchase bill, one single purchase bill, missing book in our books, then customer showing his books 100 rupees and I am showing in my books 98 rupees, then we need to reconcile books.
Okay, that is as it's a part of auditing. But when we see the reconciliation means we are posting the balances of your customer vendor transactions to one account. Okay. For example,
Control account.
If you take your balance sheet, in your balance sheet under current assets and current liabilities, we have account receivables and payables.
Okay.
So that means I have 100 vendors. So all these 100 vendors transactions will be posted to one GL account. That is called accounts payable account, which is a current liability for mine. So how the current vendors transactions is updated in the single GL account, that is called as an automatic reconciliation account. So we had, so for example, I have vendors like Ramesh, okay, Krishna, Prasad. So I have several customers, vendors. So from each vendor, I am just doing some transactions of 60,000, 50,000, or 20,000, like this. So all this amount will be posted to one GL account consolidatedly called accounts payable. Will consolidated to this account, right? It is like 1,40,000 rupees. That you will show in your balance sheet. Correct or wrong?
Yes, sir.
So this is a reconciliation. So then what Kulkarni or someone explained is the same method, but he explained in his job nature.
Okay. Correct. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. According to his profession, he just explained like we are verifying each and every invoice manually and will post to one account. This is a manual reconciliation. But in SAP system, we'll create one GL account and we create several master records like a customer vendor master card, and whatever the transaction you're posting with these people, right? If I post to Ramesh, 60,000 will get updated automatically in this account, and if you pay, that will reduce from this account. Automatic reconciliation will be happening. So because of this reconciliation accounts, we are calling accounts payable, account receivables, and asset accounting as a subledger of GL modules. In GL, we are posting account to account, like purchases account data to accounts payable
Sir,
account. We are
here,
posting directly.
here the meaning by reconciliation, exact meaning.
I cannot tell in English, man. I don't have a proper explanation for that, as I come for based on my background. Okay, reconciliation means verifying the transaction values and posting to a single GL account.
Okay, verifying transaction,
Values
posting to single values,
and posting to
and
a single GL
posting
account.
to single. in
One
GL
more,
account.
one more word is there. I think there is a control account. You have to know mention. I think.
Hmm? No, I didn't get you. Yeah, your voice is from.
One hello. One more thing is there is a one control account is there. Okay, control account is
Yeah,
there.
one control
You
account
have to say
transactions. Yes.
reconciliation account and control account. I think is same, no?
Both are same. So this will control all your
Right.
customer transactions. So same account will control your means similar account. Like it comes under current liabilities. If it is a current assets, accounts receivables. All your customer liabilities. So like you have 100 customers, and from all those customers, you will be analyzing how much amount you are going to receive.
Hari, normally when we do the reconciliation, normally we do the subledger versus ledgers, right? So
Yes.
this we can call as a the subledger of the
GL
supplier
general ledger.
GL module, general
No,
ledger
subledger.
versus my purchase ledger, right? This
Yes,
is the
yes. So,
reconciliation
but
between my
purchase
general ledger
here, this
versus
is
my
the
purchase
purchase
ledger.
is different again. No. Purchase ledger is different again. In SAP, purchase ledger will go in a different way. So that's why we call as a reconciliation accounts, recon accounts. Don't consider as a
Recon account.
purchase ledger. Purchase
Normally,
ledger is
we do the supplier reconciliation means we will get the statement from the supplier and we will compare the whatever the records in our ledgers. We will match it and we will try to find the differences. Actually. Then we will post the
reconcile the amount to one GL account, and
reconciling
this GL
both
account
the
will show
legs
in a
of
balance sheet.
Okay.
No,
This
sir.
ledger is the balance sheet.
He said just I explained first time. We are he said our practical version. We are collecting ledger and reconcile. It is a practical, but his concern level is the recon account. Yeah.
It's a recon account in a consultant point of view, and this is an automatic entry. Okay. So you are posting transaction with Ramesh, Krishna, and Prasad. Automatically, these balances will be posted in this account by default by the system. We don't do manual reconciliation again. Okay. So if you double tap on this GL account, automatically all these transactions will be displayed by the system. So for testing purpose, yes, I can show you. Okay. So I created one reconciliation account as accounts payable. I can show you. Current liabilities are not click that. Okay. Just don't get confused. Just try to understand the concept. That's it. Here I have some accounts payable. Where is this? Sundry creditors as a accounts payable. So this is the GL account where the values of all the customers and all the vendors is recorded. Okay. Now I can see in the ledger. In this GL account ledger. See, all my customers accounts payable balances is by the end of year, it is 24,990. So in that, my liabilities is 28,760 and my payments is 3,850. Now I want to see the liabilities. If I double tap on this, 28,760 has posted by several vendors. These are the transactions that are posted. Okay.
Okay. So individual supplier accounts we are maintaining separately, and the ledgers we are maintaining separately. So the transactions are reconciling. It automatically will happen in the
GL account. No need to post any entry again. So like no need to verify the invoice documents and all. So that will be posted automatically. Okay. So that will get updated by the system. So you can also see how this 490 has happened. So with reference to your payments, and here I can add my vendor also. From whom the transaction has been happened, I can display. See, using this vendor, I made all these transactions. So if you can see the list of vendors, you can find. vendor. This is the business partner of mine, vendor 821. But whenever I post transaction to this 821, automatically this GL account is triggering. You can see the entry here. Vendor is 821. I do the transaction with vendor, but in the backend, a GL account will trigger automatically. Clear? I'm posting to this vendor, but entry is posting in the ledger also. Okay.
Yeah.
The
This is a
same I
purchase ledger
explained here.
versus general ledger.
Yeah. The same I explained here. I'm posting to this Ramesh or something, but it get posted to the GL account automatically. Questions for others? Do you have any questions?
No.
And I can also see the transactions vendor wise again. I can also see the transactions vendor wise. I can see the transactions, what are the liabilities to this vendor that will be displayed by the system. See, 1,200 is a liability. Here in GL account also it is showing as a liability in a red color.
Okay.
Open. Okay. And I can also see how much amount I paid to my vendors. So this is separately I can see. Okay. What are the
Sir,
documents? Yes.
sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah,
Actually, why
please.
this is like vendor name when we are putting vendors, that column, why it is coming on numbers? Why is it like code or something that what we are giving to the vendors?
Yes, yes. See, whenever you are posting any transaction, so just like your bank account, let's take you have bank account, right? You have a number. Why we cannot
Mm-hmm.
manage your name?
Okay.
Simple.
Okay. Got it.
Any organization for their customers they maintain a number. So you have come across from roll
Okay.
numbers, right? From our school days. The same thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So to record the report, so we go with the number only. So that it's a system understanding language. We have the same name, same details for one person, another person also. So to differentiate, we need a number only. Okay.
Okay.
So we can see employee number, we can see roll number, we can see bank account number. For every customer, we maintain a number. Are you clear now?
Yes.
Fine. Others, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
People are
It's a
are not
good
SAP
example.
background. Huh?
Clear. Good example ఇది నిజంగా చాలా బాగుంది.
Hari, and about our can we discuss about our timing?
Yes. We are continuing from 8 to 9. Today it's a half an hour extended.
Hari sir.
Yeah, I'll be stopping here because I too have to attend a meeting now. It's 8 minutes more. Okay, so I'll be stopping here and tomorrow we'll discuss about what are
And
the
I want
problems.
to leave for office.
No. I'm so sorry. I didn't check the time. I'm so sorry for
And
that. Yes.
no issue. But we are tomorrow we will right time on 8 a.m. Na, right?
Yeah, yes. Continuously we'll be having at morning 8 to 9. Okay.
Right. Please.
I haven't checked the time and yes, of course, I have a major